Greetings friends, welcome back to the channel if you have been here before, or welcome if it is your first time visiting. Today I want to have a quick look at the latest goings on in the Karen Read case. Most specifically, we are going to be focusing on Lally, prosecutor Lally, and his faithful sidekick Bev, good old Judge Cannoni. And I'm going to be asking you guys for some assistance today. Where are my fact finders out there? Because I've been hearing some rumors, you guys, that have said that Auntie Bev was potentially caught in a hot mic moment the other day during the motion to dismiss proceedings, wherein she allegedly said something along the lines of, "We never changed the verdict slip," or something to that effect. And that is one rumor that I've heard. Another rumor has to do with way back when, I believe sometime in the early 90s, when Judge Beverly was an attorney. And I believe she is alleged to have been a defense attorney for a male who was accused of a very specific and horrific act. And the rumor goes that she, as an attorney, argued to the court that the jury slip was confusing. So therefore, the jury's findings and or their determination needed to be either thrown out or dismissed or whatever. If any of you guys know anything about either case that I just mentioned, in the latter, I believe the case name was the Commonwealth versus Simcock. Matthew Simcock, S-I-M-C-O-C-K, I believe. But I don't know if there's any truth to any of that, guys, and I'm not going to look into that here today, because what I want to check out mostly is what in the world is going on with Lally. What is the deal with him? Because, again, the rumblings that I've heard is that a lot of people feel as though he was low-key throwing shade at the jurors. Now, I wasn't around, so I didn't watch anything that happened in court last week, but I understand there was a new attorney speaking on behalf of Karen Read, and I understand that people thought that he was pretty effective for the most part. And as I said, people were like, what is going on with Lally? Where is he coming from in all of this? And we have yet to do a psychic reading on him to get what his motivations are. Are they purely that he just wants to do an outstanding job? Or is there something else going on with him beneath the surface? And I want you guys to weigh in on what you may have heard regarding Judge Bev. We might pull a card at the end about her as well. All right, so without further ado, let's get going. Okay, guys, so I have two decks here. I have the Wild Reflections Tarot deck and the Psychic Tarot Oracle. I'm going to be using both in coordination with one another today, but I'm going to start with the Tarot deck as I ordinarily do, as I like to do, and then we will pull some cards there as I am being instructed to do so. Couple of things. I've had some people ask me with respect to my reading, how I work it, what is the process that happens, am I hearing messages, are the cards delivering the messages, what's going on? And I appreciate questions like that, guys, because it shows that you are genuinely interested in the process of psychic tarot. And psychic tarot is definitely a different being than a psychic reader. Psychic tarot readers use the cards in conjunction with the messages we get or we hear from the divine source. Now, I've always been clairaudient From as long back as I can remember, I have heard messages from Spirit. And later in life, I began to understand that they wanted me to utilize the tarot to delve further into the murmurings that they were telling me, to understand them and to help out others in any way that I can by doing readings. And so, yeah, I hear messages at the same time as I am reading. In many cases, guys, I am not even like cognitively aware of what I'm saying until I watch the videos back. It's definitely strange, even for me, but that's how it is. All right, so we're going to take a look at the first, looks like 4 cards here that fell out. We have the King of Pentacles, the 10 of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the 9 of Swords. Whoa, guys. Okay, Swords energy, lots of Swords energy coming up around Prosecutor Lally. And you know what, guys? I don't even know his first name. I'm going to look it up and put it across the screen. And I'm going to remind my viewers that any information shared here today is alleged and in my opinion only, with the messages I am hearing and receiving from the divine source. And I'm going to tell you that all of this Swords energy isn't looking too good. Isn't saying a heck of a lot about the man, Lally, the prosecutor, Lally. All right, let me rephrase. We're looking at Lally in terms of this case. He could be a great guy. Perhaps if you want to go out and hang out with Lally, shoot a game of pool, golf, whatever you're into, whatever he's into, he might be the greatest guy in the world. But with respect to this case, in his role as a prosecutor, this Swords energy is jumping out at me as very deceptive, manipulative, and somewhat troubling, for sure. Okay, friends, I just took a moment and looked it up. So his name is Adam, and now that I saw it, I'm like, yeah, that's right, Adam Lally. So Mr. Lally, the energy around him with reference to this case is pointing to this sense of him thinking very highly of himself. Now, I feel as though the few times that I did watch the trial here and there as it was going on, I thought that he was more or less feeling like he was trying to catch up, like he was doing damage control right out of the gate. But I didn't get that he thought of himself in this sort of royal position. But what I'm hearing right now is that Adam Lally definitely took this case on willingly, knowing that he was potentially going to have to steer this ship, so to speak, through some very rocky, narrow terrain. And by that, I mean he was going to have to almost put on a defense case as opposed to that of an offensive case or offense. And he thought himself to be well-skilled and capable of handling this kind of job, this kind of circumstance. So I think like my impression of him was more or less like, oh, maybe he had been thrust into this position and he really didn't want it for whatever reason, but he was being like forced in some way to take on this case, maybe because he owed someone something. I don't know where I got that from, guys. That was just an initial impression on my part. But this is not being confirmed to me. Actually, it's quite the opposite that is coming up right now. I'm feeling more of a sense from him that he thought he was the best person for this job, for this task, and that anyone else wouldn't do it justice is what I'm hearing. No pun intended. Then we've got the 10 of Swords, followed by the Ace of Swords and the 9 of Swords. So again, this is a lot of mental energy and mental anguish here with the 10 of Swords. So I think that at this particular moment in time, I'm going to look at this as recent past. Adam Lally began to understand that he was in for much, much more of a beating, per se, than he had anticipated with the defense attorney team that Karen Reed had for herself. And I'm hearing that he took his hits. But check this out, guys. What I'm also hearing is that he feels as though he took those hits, but he rose above. He's feeling as though he was able to emerge from all of that skirmish with the ability to still hold his head up high. Because this Ace of Swords is talking about this renewed sense of purpose. And this is coming up right now. So this is recent past, potentially right after the closeout of that trial with the mistrial and everything. And him feeling right now as though he is in a new position of power, of strength. That something has shifted and he's ready to deal with it with a new and refreshed sense of purpose. Which I'm like, I want to say, why? Why would he feel that way? Because, I mean, if nothing else, what we learned is that the jury overwhelmingly found her not guilty on 2 of the counts and was only hung on the lesser charge of manslaughter, which is another video altogether because I still don't know how they could have been stuck on that. So we'll leave that one alone for the moment. Now we have the 9 of Swords, guys. And the 9 of Swords is that restless, losing sleep, depleted despair that comes on the heels of having taken a beating. And I'm wondering if this isn't up and coming for Lally and his team. Now, I know this is a female figure here, but I am very firmly in Lally's energy at the moment because I think what he is doing is he is taking a look at everything that the jury has considered with respect to Karen Reed. I feel as though there's going to be some part of prosecutor Lally that is going to be forced to look beyond his own narrative, behind all of the tales he has spun and those that he has woven out of thin air, in my opinion. And he's going to have to look closely at what actually might have happened to Miss Reed with respect to this narrative, with respect to something that may not have been the way he was professing it to be. That is what I'm hearing. That is what I'm hearing around the 9 of Swords for Lally, okay? So those are the 4 cards. Lots of mental anguish and energy going on for him previously and right now. So I'm being told now to refer to the Oracle for a final card or 2, and perhaps in here we will get a message on Bev. What's going on with her? Okay. The 3 card, guys. Partnerships and alliances. And I think this speaks to both. This speaks to both, guys. Because to me, check this out. To me, I have what appears to be like the hand of perhaps a male figure and that of potentially a female figure, right? With like a bracelet or something around her wrist. It could be. And these flags waving. And these, to me, all represent motions, waves, disturbances. But we have the partnerships and alliances coming up around Beverly and Lally. So this is what I have been wondering about. And this is what I think is going on also in this complex dynamic. I think that allegedly, in my opinion only, or you might agree and you might say, hey, yeah, Sparrow, that's my opinion too. But what I am hearing from my guides is that Judge Beverly and Adam Lally, Prosecutor Lally, have formed some sort of an alliance, some form of partnership whereby they are both on the same team. That being the team against Karen Read. Okay? So if we were considering whether or not Beverly might have been acting with bias, and we were like maybe ready to give her a pass, let's think again on that, okay? Then we have the 4 card here, rest and rejuvenate. So I think that both Beverly and Lally right now are gearing up. She said she's taking things under advisement. And the reason I know that is because I saw a YouTuber use that clip in one of their videos, and it reminded me of a line from the movie Jaws.
We'll take it under advisement.
I'm a Jaws fanatic. And when I heard that, when I saw that on a YouTuber's channel, I thought to myself, of course, because now is the time to gear up, to rest, to rejuvenate, to take a step back, and to formulate the next plan of attack. And I don't use the term attack loosely, my friends. I don't. All right? So that is what I'm getting right now around where Lally is coming from. I don't believe that he is feeling as though he is being overpowered by the defense team. I think he still thinks very highly of himself. And yeah, we're going to leave it at that for this reading because I want to keep this one relatively short and a bit easier for me to edit and upload for you guys quickly. All right, my friends, so remember, if you are a fact finder, let me know. Reach out to me either via email or in the comment section down below. Let me know about those rumors. What have you heard about that hot mic moment that some people are saying came out of Beverly's mouth, and or her being a defense attorney in a case of RAP that happened in, I believe, 1990 or 91, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know if you know anything about that. I would be really curious. All right, do stay tuned because I'll be back really soon. Take care. Friends, if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, and make sure you have that notification bell clicked and set to all so you don't miss anything that is coming up ahead on the channel. I truly appreciate each and every one of you.